All right, folks, we have Eva Gajanovich here with us. And me and Eva started working together about a year ago, right, Eva? Ish, right?
I think it's just about our year anniversary,
Yeah.
Matt.
And it all started with RTT. So there was something that you wanted to change, and something that you knew you needed to make a shift on. So where were you at when you first reached out? What were some of the frustrations and challenges?
The biggest frustration was in business. So I wanted to kind of embark on a coaching career, and I just realized that I was getting constantly stuck. Like I would make a little bit of momentum and then stop and then second guess myself, like, am I good enough? Am I supposed to be doing this? Do I have what it takes? And then so I saw you had posted something, and I just loved your posts anyway to begin with, so I kind of followed them regularly. And then I saw that you were offering RTT sessions, and I was like, I know Matt, I know about RTT. I want to try this. So that's what I reached out to you, and we did an RTT session, and it was really, really helpful and eye opening.
Yeah.
Hang on, that's my dog. 1 second.
No, that's great.
Ajde, odi to staviti na punjač, okay? And so after the RTT session, there was some like interesting chain of events that happened where I think I was just a little bit more open to collaboration and opportunity. And I sent you a link that I had shared where I was invited to speak at some kind of event online, and that was the first of its kind. That I was like, oh, there is something to this where like I'm kind of breaking away at some of my limiting beliefs and why it's such a struggle to kind of push myself forward.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's the subconscious is the leader of our confidence, right? And it starts to open up your eyes to a whole new world, and especially when you have never been an entrepreneur before, and you're like, I want to jump into this. It starts to change the way you think about things, which is awesome. So you jumped in. What were some of the and we've done a lot together. What were some of the main things, some of the main takeaways that you got from the overall program?
From the overall program, so I mean, I kind of guess I'll categorize it into like uh business, lifestyle, and then health and well-being, because I think that those are kind of like the three prongs that you have
Yeah,
attack with Miranda and inside. So I think for business, being aware of what's holding me back. So being aware of, why it is that I might not feel like I have enough letters behind my name, even though my last name has like 10, but I'm talking I'm talking about credentials. Um, is my experience enough? And moving to Croatia 3 years ago was kind of like the thing that sparked the setback a little bit, because no one here kind of knew my like previous work, and it felt like I was starting from scratch. In reality, like I know that I've had the experience, but now it's like I have nothing to show for it. Like I'm here in this new country. How am I going to kind of like make this work?
yeah,
So I think part of the program was really, really, truly helpful, is to understanding that and kind of being aware and dealing with it, not just being aware, but like having some tools to really kind of change those limiting beliefs.
for sure.
So that's really helpful. So thank you for that. The other piece to that is community. There's just such a great community of lovely women that I met through your program. And it's just the support, and it's not any like cattiness or jealousy or any kind of thing like that. It's really about support, and I find that hugely helpful. And then just also seeing that some people are struggling with the same things I'm struggling with, and
Yeah,
you know, I'm not alone. And like, how are we dealing with this together? How are you dealing with it? And then just celebrating each other's growth. So anytime somebody had a win, just really, really genuinely celebrating it. Or if I shared a win, people genuinely being excited for that. So
yeah.
I think that,
That's the best, isn't it? It's like when you have a group of people that have an abundance mindset, everyone comes together and supports each other, which is a beautiful thing for sure.
yeah, and it's just so cool. And I mean, especially now with this period of time with Corona and everything, having that community, because I mean, that was a hugely isolating moment, I think, in so many people's lives, where even that interaction, via Zoom or Facebook Messenger, and being able to participate in that from across the world was amazing.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
I love it. So you have all of these confidence boosts. You're moving and shaking, and it's just been really awesome to watch you step into this identity of being a business owner and evolving online and looking at what it looks like. What would you say now, looking back at the last year, are some of the best outcomes that you've had in your overall journey, in your transformational journey?
As crazy as it sounds, is starting to use Facebook as an avenue for connecting with other people in that business sense, and that was a huge hurdle. That was a huge hurdle for me. Like, I don't know why it took me. I was so uncomfortable with the idea of posting things on Facebook in regards to my business, and then through conversations with you and the other women in the group, it was kind of like, yeah, well, it's okay to do that, and no one's gonna, well, people might judge, but it's not this like thing that's gonna destroy me.
Yeah.
And so as crazy as it sounds, like, I would honestly say that was one of my biggest breakthroughs, is like, I will post something on Facebook
for sure
in regards to my business. So that was a huge thing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because people either judge you for doing what you don't love doing, or judge you for what you do love doing. So you might as well do what you love, because you're going to get judged no matter what, right?
Right.
So
100%. Absolutely. So that was actually like one of the bigger breakthroughs. And also, having a therapist background previously, and then working in a school, there was a system behind the work that I did. So I was, part of a structure, and even with insurance companies, and then now being on my own, where that's not like the surrounding part around me. Part of this group was huge in terms of like, I'm doing work independently, but I'm also part of a team in my mind, because I looked at this group as kind of like a team.
Yeah, for sure.
And not really having the faintest idea about business, like how things work. Like, I learned new vocabulary, CTAs and avatars. And so that was just a whole nother set of skills that I feel like I've learned, that now I can kind of contribute to other things too.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us. It's so valuable for other entrepreneurs that are trying to improve their health, their wealth, their mindset, all of the above, and to know that it's possible. And when they feel stuck, that there is something that they can do about it. So I always like to leave it on this note. If you had one piece of advice for somebody that's trying to, jump into a life transformation of any sort, what would you say to them? What's one piece of advice you would say?
Can I just go backwards before I say that, and just share one more thing that was a huge win that I got out of it? So in the health and wellness kind of aspect of the program, the biggest thing was just removing black and white thinking. Like, I was the type of person that I would, I would look at chocolate, let's just say, just be like, oh my God, I already just, I just looked at this piece of chocolate. Now, you know what I'm going to do now? I'm just going to go have like a crazy amount of pizza and everything that I've wanted to have the past few days that I haven't. And so, and then that would kind of drive me down a spiral. Whereas now I kind of have the ability to just stop and say, like, I made the choice to eat X, Y, and Z, but I can, go right back to it, the next day, or even, not completely drive myself even further down that spiral, like for lunch, let's say. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, and that was a big one for me. So thank you for that. That was a huge one. And then just advice for somebody who's looking to get into improving their health and well-being. I think just do it, invest in yourself. And I think even just the process of investing in yourself just feeds that part of you that, like, I'm worth it. And I think that,
yes.
and if you find something, I obviously love your program, Matt, and I can't speak highly enough about it. But if somebody else is looking for something else and find something, either way, no matter what, like just do it for yourself,
For sure.
feel it out. But definitely take that dive and knowing that you're worth it and that you have nothing to lose other than time by waiting.
Yeah, I love that.
That's
Yep.
it. So like Nike says, just do it.
Yep.
Swoosh.
Just do it. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Eva. This has been fantastic, and have a great rest of your day.